towards backing Rajinikanth for president, especially key Tamil political parties. But there could be a reason for these viewers. They might think that he is the best person to represent Tamil Nadu's cause because he's got a clean image, he's a superstar, he's got mass appeal, not just in Tamil Nadu but across the world. There are so many of Rajini fans even in across various parts of India and across the globe, from all the way to across in Vancouver and around the world to Tokyo in Japan. So it's a global appeal that Rajinikanth has, and you had the Malaysian Prime Minister stopping across to meet him this time around. That itself talks about his ability to try and stitch together diplomatic ties. But do we need Rajinikanth for president, or do we need him as politician and Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu? Sanjeev Srivastava, Mr. Rajgopalan, good evening. Which way are you looking, or are you sitting on the fence, Sanjeev, on this?
I would think that he'll, if at all he comes into public life, his first foray should be in Tamil Nadu politics. Because we have had no example. See, there are all the great Rajinikanth fans, the great Rajinikanth jokes that how he travels and thinks faster than lightning. And I don't know, Anand, whether you have heard the latest one upon this virus attack across the world, where there is this joke which is there on different WhatsApp groups saying that the virus attack people are actually begging Rajini to release the viruses because they dared to attack him, and all the viruses have now been are now in his capture. So in jokes apart, the big thing is Rajinikanth. See, if we see all presidents of India, there is nobody who has straight away jumped from world of entertainment or not being in public service in that sense, except if you take the great scientist turned president Abdul Kalam. Other than him, they were all had some experience in politics, public life, as to how to deal with diplomats, politicians. So, and I think so the first foray, first stop for Rajinikanth has to be somewhere in Tamil Nadu politics, and maybe all the Tamil parties are jockeying for sending Rajinikanth to Rashtrapati Bhavan because they are very nervous about the prospect.
Exactly my point.
What will happen?
We are on the same side on this, Sanjeev.
Tamil Nadu politics.
Sanjeev,
everything will turn upside down.
Sanjeev, you and me are on the same page on this one. So we are not going to engage on air today.
With the AIDMK in such disarray.
We are not going to engage, or we are not going to be fighting on air today, because we are on the same side on this one. Because I feel because the Tamil parties want to pack him off to Raisina Hills so that they don't have to deal with the stardom or the appeal of Rajinikanth. Because Mr. Rajagopalan, I'm coming to you. Look at the options the BJP has, the NDA has, the options that they have put forth. Draupadi Murmu, Jharkhand governor, seasoned hand, very, very educated, tribal face. You have Sushma Swaraj, the option who's there because she's phenomenal as the external affairs minister, and no better person who can take the president's office, in the current scenario if you're looking at, and you have Sumitra Mahajan. Three strong female candidates the BJP is mulling about, we are given to understand. On the other side, the opposition is looking at Gopal Krishna Gandhi as one of the options. They have Meera Kumar as one of the options. So they are trying to make these pitches, Mr. Rajagopalan, and there are very strong candidates from both sides. So if Mr. Rajinikanth were to be put there into the spot, suddenly as a president, does he look president material? Or do you believe that you'd rather have Mr. Rajinikanth in Tamil Nadu, Rajini for CM rather than Rajini for president?
Whatever that may be, the choice of the next president of India is to be taken by Mr. Narendra Modi and Narendra Modi alone. No other person in this category. Even Amit Shah will go by what Narendra Modi selects. Apart from that, the selectee would be a hardcore RSS, hardcore BJP, and moreover, for the first time in the history of 70 years of independence, the 2014 mandate was for Prime Minister, President, Vice President. Narendra Modi was authorized to choose his own president, his own vice president. Therefore, it is not going to be Rajinikanth. Rajinikanth is fit for chief ministership. That is why he says, I am Pachai Tamilan. I am a real Tamilian. Therefore, he himself ruled out that this morning. There is no question of his becoming the president, because he may be knowing Hindi, he may be knowing Marathi, he may be knowing Kannadiga, Tamil, like that. But at the same time, he is fit for chief ministership, and leave Raisina Hills for some other person, the person will be chosen by Mr. Narendra Modi. I repeat, the next president of India would be a hardcore RSS BJP supporter.
Well, that is your call in terms of a hardcore RSS BJP supporter, but we'd also look at the quality of the candidate and the office of the president and the office of the chief minister. Now, Sanjeev, let's juxtapose. Shabir is also with us. Shabir, I'm just going to bring you in. Is Tamil Nadu thinking now, if political parties in Tamil Nadu want to back Rajinikanth, do they not want to deal with him in Tamil Nadu politics? So they say, okay, let's back him off to Raisina Hill, so we have one less problem to deal with. Because even though you have an August list of candidates from both the government and opposition for presidentship, in Tamil Nadu you're scraping the barrel. You don't have a strong leader in Tamil Nadu today.
Well, that's right. There is a leadership crisis in Tamil Nadu post Jayalalitha and after Karunanidhi being inactive in politics. So if at all Rajinikanth is going to be the president,
taking viewer callers. Sorry to interrupt. Our viewers have started calling in. Sorry to interrupt you. I've got Ravi calling us from Chennai. Yes, Ravi.
Hello.
Yes, Ravi, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hi. It's a very welcome move. Can I speak over?
Yes, go ahead, please. Turn down the volume of your television set and then talk to us.
Yeah. It's a very good move of Rajinikanth coming into politics. I think Tamil Nadu today needs a mass people leader, and that is very, very important. Somebody who can do very good to the people and somebody who can live and talk the language of the people. So I would say that it is very important for Rajinikanth to be in Tamil Nadu and do something good for Tamil Nadu people. I think that's very important.
So you want him in Tamil Nadu. Richard calls us from Hyderabad. Yes, Richard. Richard, turn down the volume of your television set, please. Quickly. You're live on air. Go ahead, please. Richard, go ahead, please. Richard, go ahead, please. Okay, Pankaj joins us from Lucknow. To all our viewers who are calling in, even as I take Pankaj's call, I'm just going to request all of you to please turn down the volume of your television set and speak to us. I know we all like to hear our voices on television, but this causes a lot of delay on the on-air broadcast. So I'm going to request you to turn down the volume of your television set and then please talk to us. After about 30-40 seconds, you'll automatically see your name coming there on the screens. So please trust us when we say that you are on air. Yes, Pankaj, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Whatever I am seeing in the news channels, sir, it is good. But the thing is that the Rajinikanth would fit for the Chennai, not for the presidency.
आप लखनऊ से बोल रहे हैं, आप उनके फैन हैं, but आप भी बोल रहे हैं कि he should be he should focus on Tamil Nadu politics and not look at the presidency.
The situation was the worst is the situation of the Tamil Nadu right now. What we know, everybody is knowing that the situation is not good in Tamil Nadu. Better he should support the Tamilian and he should support the Chennai so that it will come out in a good prospect way. If we will go directly to the president, definitely it will create the problems.
Okay, thank you for calling in, Pankaj. Rational, I agree with you largely. I think Sanjeev Srivastava and Mr. Rajagopalan also agree. We'll have to see what Shabir Ahmed thinks individually, but he's very dispassionate because he'll only report the facts on ground. That's what he does as our Chennai bureau head and the chief reporter there. But Sampath calling us. Yes, Sampath, go ahead, please.
Anand, this is Sampath from Pune.
Yes, Sampath.
I am of a strong opinion that Rajini should be in Tamil Nadu politics. After exit of Jayalalitha, there is a big vacuum in Tamil Nadu and no politician is able to connect to the people. It is very extremely apparent. The state development has taken a complete backseat. So we need a person who could connect with the people, who could feel the pulse of the people and work for the people.
Fair point, Sampath. Thank you for calling in. I agree with you in totality. What we'll do is, we'll also do a quick dipstick around our newsroom and see what they think, president or politics, in just a bit. Our next caller from Hyderabad. Yes, Matthew. Matthew, go ahead, please. Well, I think twice we've tried to patch Matthew from Hyderabad, and he seems to be listening to the audio on television rather than responding to us here live on air. I'm going to request our viewers once again, we'd love to hear from you, but please turn down the volume of your phone the moment you're patched through so that we speak to you live on air. You would have a little bit of a delay in the broadcast from what we speak to you and what you hear, and that should not cause inconvenience to the other viewers who are tuning in. So please cooperate with us. Taking a very, very short break. When we come back, we'll play out the Rajini speech of the morning, where his intent was very clear, and that is why we have our panelists and a lot of our viewers largely saying it's not Rajini for president, it's Rajini for CM that should matter, and that's what he should focus on. Stay with us.
On the 6th of May, Pakistan ke dalal exposed on Times Now.
These are papers that establish that we have dalals for Pakistan. Dalal, that the headquarters of the ISI in India are in the Hurriyat back office.
Documents and tapes revealed Sapari jihadis.
शहीद बुरहान भाई ने सैयद हाफिज साहब से पैसे देने की बात की थी, तो साहब ने कहा था हमारे हिजबुल के साथियों, पैसा तो हमारे लिए बहुत आता है मगर हम तक नहीं पहुंचता, बल्कि हमारे कमांडरों तक ही रहता है।
19th of May, NIA files preliminary inquiry into Hurriyat funding.
It took Times Now to expose it conclusively. We showed you documents with names, details of individuals receiving money from the ISI. The NIA has decided to probe this entire issue.
Biggest exclusives, biggest impact. Pakistan ke dalal, a Times Now exclusive.
I think our lives are stronger, our movement is stronger. No going back to 377.
We ask your questions.
Are you bothered that majority of the police forces in Jammu and Kashmir don't have a bulletproof vest, but you're giving bulletproof cars and paying for separatists? You don't behave like a spokesperson of a Pakistani agent.
What are you doing using the taxpayers' money to provide security to these separatists who speak only a pro-Pak language, who call Burhan Wani a martyr?
The news are your trust, your voice.
We think India is safe, we think Bangalore is a safe city. When incidents like this happen is when we realize that it's not that safe anymore.
My only future action is to achieve a settlement with the banks.
We are your voice.
When the state government has come out with an ordinance, has assured us a law, why are you playing destructive or opposition politics right now?
11 months. You've been sitting on an investigation. What are you waiting for, Sambit Patra? For the evidence and for the traces to be wiped out?
Captain Mandeep Singh is a martyr and we salute him, sir. But I'm also saying that it was not war or a conflict that claimed him. It was an act of terrorism sponsored by Pakistan on Indian soil.
The news are your trust, your voice.
पब्लिक को हैरान कर रहे हैं.
They have to bear it. Not much. They have to bear it.
And 2 days after CBI has CBI raided Karti Chidambaram's residences and Karti Chidambaram left for London. There was speculation was rife. Now we've given to understand a PMLA case has been registered. That just around the day he's gone off to London, which he claims is a pre-scheduled trip. Vivek Narayan, our executive editor, has just taken out the printouts of the
Enforcement Directorate papers,
case.
Essentially. Well, yesterday we had the CBI FIR, Anand, and
let me hold this for you. Yeah, you can take our viewers.
This is almost similar to what the CBI had to say. This, of course, is the paper released by the Enforcement Directorate exclusively with Times Now. What does it say? Essentially, it's detailing those accused. Those accused here are INX Media, INX News, Karti Chidambaram, Chess Management Services, Advantage Strategic Consultancy, and unknown officials of the Ministry of Finance. And again, as the CBI papers had said very clearly, I'll just mark out.
I think you just hold it out for our viewers, and then you can, if you can stand on that side, Vivek.
Yeah, I would move out on the other side.
Yeah, and now you can show it to our viewers here.
The FIPB unit, while sending the brief of proposal, which was to be put out to the FIPB for its meeting on so-and-so, they had requested, they had got to the extent of 4.62 crores, Anand. 4.62 crores was the FIPB clearance to INX Media.
Okay.
But what happens next is
page number 2, and now we move to page number 3.
What happens next is, according to the Enforcement Directorate, Karti Chidambaram's help was sought. That contrary to the approval of the FIPB letter dated so-and-so, they managed to generate more than 305 crores in FDI, Anand. 300 plus crores of a windfall of a profit. And for what? Goes on to add. That upon receipt of this letter from FIPB unit, Messrs. INX Media Private Limited, in order to wriggle out of the situation without any punitive action, entered into a criminal conspiracy with Sri Karti P. Chidambaram, promoter director of Messrs. Chess Management Private Limited, son of P. Chidambaram, then Finance Minister of India, as to get the issue resolved, addressed amicably by influencing public servants of the FIPB Union Ministry of Finance by virtue of his father, the then Finance Minister. Anand, the papers say it all.
Yes.
Yesterday it was the CBI, today it's the Enforcement Directorate. The onus on Karti P. Chidambaram to come out and explain how this 3.5 crore became 303 crores. How was this 300 crore raised in one go? Was it his consultancy which did this magic? He's in receipt of monies for that consultancy. It's quite clearly evident.
You know, the charges which they have said very clearly, they have not just said that they've tried to make use it as an office of profit, but also a criminal conspiracy. So multiple charges which are there, and even though the FIR of the CBI names only Karti Chidambaram, the PMLA case registered in this case, look at this. It says very clearly that they entered into a criminal conspiracy with Karti P. Chidambaram, son of Sri P. Chidambaram, the then Finance Minister of India, so as to get the issues resolved, addressed amicably by influencing the public servants of the FIPB unit of the Ministry of Finance. Remember Mr. Chidambaram's statement, why didn't you question the 5 secretaries who are part of the FIPB? And they say they were influenced by virtue of his relationship with the then Finance Minister, that is Mr. Chidambaram. So they are directly trying to say that Mr. P. Chidambaram prevailed upon the Home Secretaries, who he is passing the buck on to now, at the behest of Karti Chidambaram. That is what the PMLA case registered by the Enforcement Directorate very explicitly mentioned in these highlighted lines. Vivek, thank you for that update here on Prime Pulse. Have to take a very, very short break. We join you with more.
I think our lives are stronger, our movement is stronger. No going back to 377.
We ask your questions.
Are you bothered that majority of the police forces in Jammu and Kashmir don't have a bulletproof vest, but you're giving bulletproof cars and paying for separatists? You don't behave like a spokesperson of a Pakistani agent.
What are you doing using the taxpayers' money to provide security to these separatists who speak only a pro-Pakistan pro-Pak language, who call Burhan Wani a martyr.
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
We think India is safe, we think Bangalore is a safe city. When incidents like this happen is when we realize that it's not that safe anymore.
My only future action is to achieve a settlement with the banks.
We are your voice.
When the state government has come out with an ordinance, has assured us a law, why are you playing destructive or opposition politics right now?
11 months. You've been sitting on an investigation. What are you waiting for, Sambit Patra? For the evidence and for the traces to be wiped out?
Captain Mandeep Singh is a martyr and we salute him, sir. But I'm also saying that it was not war or a conflict that claimed him. It was an act of terrorism sponsored by Pakistan on Indian soil.
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
VIPs पब्लिक को हैरान कर रहे हैं.
They have to bear it. Not much, they have to bear it.
We ask your questions.
स्कर्ट उठा के तूने कर दिया दिल को डायनामाइट डायनामाइट. अरे फक फकीरा ना इश्क हुआ है overnight. If this movie did not get banned, lipstick under my burqa, why is it getting banned?
What?
Welcome back. Plenty of traction coming on the hashtag Rajni for President, but it's largely negative. That means that most of the people don't want Rajnikant as president. They want him to continue as and think about stepping into the arena in Tamil Nadu politics and perhaps in future, around the next time Tamil Nadu goes to polls, why for the chief minister's post with his own party or perhaps in alliance with the BJP, that they have left it to Rajnikant to decide what he wants to do, but they would like to see him active in Tamil Nadu politics. Well, plus the other big development on Karti Chidambaram, where we've accessed a copy of the PMLA case that clearly defines criminal conspiracy and office of profit. A summary of what happened on Prime Pulse between 6 and 6:30. Now we set up 6:30 to 7, the back half of Prime Pulse, with a quick check of the headlines. A week after Times Now stinging expose on Pakistan ke dalal, India's top anti-terror body jumps into probe funding source. Times Now exposed the Pakistani agents and the web of transactions to maintain unrest in the valley. Indian agencies begin probe. A day after massive embarrassment at the International Court of Justice, Nawaz Sharif faces backlash at home. Pakistan opposition demands his resignation. Karti Chidambaram's sudden visit to London stumps the CBI. His departure comes at a time the PMLA case has been registered against him. Case papers live here on Times Now. Times Now was the first to bring you the entire Chidambaram files, where we put out the web of companies used to route alleged bribe money. While India continues its quest to bring India's #1 defaulter, Indian motorsport body continues to reward him by making him a global representative. But minutes after Times Now's report, tremors felt in Indian motorsport body board Mal's sacking of Vijay Mallya. Superstar Rajnikant makes an impassioned speech bordering on politics at the last day of his fan meet. Speculation now over Rajnikant for president. In a major reprieve for WikiLeaks co-founder, Sweden drops rape charges against Julian Assange. There is still ambiguity over his freedom from leaving the Ecuadorian embassy. Well, to the other big Times Now impact, and this input is just coming through, and we'll try and get our senior editor Nikunj Garg for this. Pakistan ke Dalal, our expose on the 6th of May here on Times Now, the Super Saturday, where India watched your channel as we exposed the Dalals who have sold their souls to the enemy, who are the ones who have sowed the seeds of hatred and nurtured it, and it has resulted in young minds being corrupted, polluted, filled with venom against the idea of India. And it is those people who we exposed. One of the key men whose tranche of 1 month of payments coming in from the ISI of 70 lakh rupees, and we established the connection with Shabir Shah, and Shabir Shah will now be questioned. Nikunj Garg joins us with the details. What's going to happen on the 25th of May, Nikunj?
Well, Anand, Shabir Shah has been summoned to the Delhi office of the Enforcement Directorate on that day. That is 25th of May, some 6 odd days from now. The summons have been issued today. So this morning, the Enforcement Directorate swung into action after clearances from the top-level officials of other wings of the Government of India, because Jammu and Kashmir is not just another law enforcement subject. There are multiple issues related to security and otherwise law enforcement issues that require clearance from the Government of India at the very top level. Nonetheless, they have issued summons to Shabir Shah. He will have to appear in front of the Enforcement Directorate on the 25th of this month, just 6 days away from now. And importantly enough, Anand, if Shabir Shah fails to appear even on 25th of this month, then the Enforcement Directorate has full plans to arrest him for his custodial interrogation. Whether that arrest takes place in Jammu and Kashmir or whether that arrest takes place during the time when he is in Delhi or moving out of that state is yet to be seen. But nonetheless, troubles very, very seriously mounting for Shabir Shah, against whom Times Now had done a very detailed expose showing at least 70 lakh rupees, at least one tranche of 70 lakh rupees exchanging hands from the Pakistan ISI handlers to Shabir Shah, who then was using that money not only for his personal upkeep but for financing subterfuge, terror activities, terror financing and stone pelting activities in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, particularly in the Kashmir Valley. So the ED there swinging into action, issuing fresh summons to Shabir Shah this morning, and he has been told to appear before ED's Delhi office at 10 a.m. on 25th of this month.
Now, the other question as a follow-up is Nikunj, that is it true that the intelligence was aware of this all along? Isn't it true that some of the security outfits were aware of what was going on? So how is it that suo motu cognizance has not been taken? How is it that these Hawala routes, the launderers, the conduits who are also based in the national capital, everybody is aware who they are? What is stopping the authorities from cracking down upon them? Everybody is aware that Shabir Shah has received this money because you know the money has reached him.
Well, Anand, the issue is not so much with the security apparatus or the law enforcement agencies or the intelligence agencies. The problem is with the political dispensation of the day. Under the UPA regime, there was a strange policy of mollycoddling these separatists. They thought that probably a solution to the Jammu and Kashmir problem can also be found by keeping these Hurriyat separatists in good humor at least. So even during the peak of 2010 crisis, which I would say is the genesis of all renewed crisis in the valley, when Mr. Chidambaram was Home Minister in 2010, when an all-party delegation went, there was very strong urging from various quarters, including political quarters, that the mollycoddling of these Hurriyat separatist elements must stop. But somehow the UPA 2 government could not politically make up its mind. Now, since the time Narendra Modi government has come into power for some 3 odd years back, at least one message has very clearly gone across the various stakeholders, including the Hurriyat elements who consider themselves to be a stakeholder. And some of the mainline political parties like PDP and NC have been trying to make them a stakeholder, right, that at least anybody who talks beyond the Constitution of India is not a stakeholder, and straight law enforcement processes would be put in place to deal with them.
Well, good that the machinery is acting now, and let's see what happens on the 25th. Does it stop with just mere questioning, or is he confronted with proof and some serious action is taken against elements like Shabir Shah, because they have done destructive work enough? It's time to put an end to all of this soft peddling of terrorism and soft separatism, and even mainstream political parties in Jammu and Kashmir need to get the message from the rest of India that this week you cannot practice this. You cannot fan the flames on one side and play the peace dove on the other. Nikunj, to stay on with us, the Finance Minister come acting Defence Minister Arun Jaitley did respond to this question on Times Now's expose of Pak Dalals.
Well, I think what was known already in informed circles has only been proved by a report. So it was known that they were being funded from across the border. They were funded to create unrest. They were funded to burn schools. They were funded to kill people and destroy public property. So their actions were a conspiracy against not only, as I said, the Indian state, but also the average resident of Kashmir Valley. So this was all being talked about. And what your report has done is to almost bring out a confessional statement of the concerned players accepting it. And I'm sure the concerned agencies of the government will take whatever action is needed in this matter.
So Arun Jaitley there promising whatever action required will be taken in this aspect. But Nikunj, is this just the first? Is this just the first step? The Enforcement Directorate summons, is this just the first step? Is there going to be other agencies of the government, other arms of the government also cracking down on this entire Hawala route and this nexus? And will they stop this supply? Because many believe this is the oxygen. You cut the oxygen supply, these elements will perish.
Well, Anand, absolutely, because when I spoke to the day when we exposed this entire terror financing machinery in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, that day I spoke to the MOS home, Mr. Kiran Rijiju, and Mr. Rijiju went on record to say that, you know, we know as in the government knows that financing is the root of all ills when it comes to Pakistan-sponsored terror. And it is my understanding of the case, others can probably add to it, that the Enforcement Directorate is the most potent financial law enforcement arm of the government of India, which must act and act decisively in the case of terror financing, because they are the ones who are the custodian of the single law in this country other than the UAPA amended act, which deals with the terror financing. So Prevention of Money Laundering Act is the singular act dealing with the terror financing activity. The Enforcement Directorate is the custodian of that act. Other than the UAPA amended, which, you know, the National Investigative Agency is also custodian of at the central level, this is the act exclusively can be used against Hawala operators, financiers, money transfers and all. So therefore, Enforcement Directorate needs to act decisively, and that's why Mr. Jaitley was also speaking so decisively as the ultimate political boss of the Enforcement Directorate.
Well, thanks for the inputs, Nikunj. We continue to stay on top of the story. It's another huge Times Now impact.
Times Now revealed money trail from Pakistan to Hurriyat.
This intelligence report actually establishes that Pak ISI has a front office in India through which it disperses cash for several anti-India activities. Separatists, the Hurriyat is somebody who can be treated as a stakeholder.
Times Now exposed ISI's cash register.
This document details this is just one tranche, 170 lakhs for 1 month. God alone knows how many other tranches are going out from Pakistan of hard cash.
India's top anti-terror agency begins probe.
It took Times Now to expose it conclusively. We showed you documents with names, details of individuals receiving money from the ISI. The NIA has decided to probe this entire issue.
Biggest exclusives, biggest impact. Pakistan ke dalal, Times Now exclusive.
The Rio Olympics, Times Now's expose and the questioning of the medical crew that went, and we asked how is a radiologist going to treat broken bones or muscle spasms and injuries to athletes who are representing the Indian contingent. And many people said, why is Times Now asking this question of Tarlochan Singh and Pawandeep Singh or Tony and R.S. Negi? Because these were people who were not qualified. They had gone on a glorified junket, and the CBI now has inquired into this and has found serious lacunae. They have said players who suffered injury did not get proper medical attention because the doctors who represented the Indian contingent were not qualified to do so. If you send a radiologist to treat issues which athletes in competition will face, that is what will happen. It's again a Times Now impact. Bhavtosh Singh joins us with the details. Yes, Bhavtosh.
In fact, the CBI has filed a preliminary inquiry into the matter, and they have said that it appears that those who have been sent to Rio were not qualified to treat the sports person. In fact, they have mentioned a specific instance in which one of the wrestlers suffered serious injuries and he could not be treated or could not be given first aid because the two doctors, R.S. Negi and Pawandeep Singh, were radiologists and they had not studied sports medicine. But they have also, what is the biggest indictment for IOA is the fact that CBI has said that two non-qualified doctors were sent. They have also said that this shows there was nepotism and favoritism shown, that this was nothing but a junket for these two doctors. Pawandeep Singh is the son of IOA Vice President Tarlochan Singh. They said that they are carrying out their probe on basis of their own sources and that they had not received complaint from anyone. And they have said that they have enough evidence to prove that these two doctors were not qualified. And they have said that very soon they will file an FIR in this case.
Well, the CBI now has gone ahead and raised questions not just of the Indian Olympic Association, but also questions of the SAI and also the Sports Ministry, Bhavtosh, because all of them will have to answer who ratified this decision. Who said, okay, send these people in, even if they are not qualified. Karishma, you remember, you're with us on the phone now. You remember we put out this question and we put this expose out ahead in the build-up to Rio 2016 and said, how are these people going to take care of the well-being of our doctors? And it happened on the wrestling arena. It happened on the wrestling arena when Vinesh got injured, and it was Tarlochan Singh son, Pawandeep Singh and R.S. Negi, who were present there, who had no clue what to do. All they did was try to haul her onto the stretcher and take her to the local hospital because they did not know how to attend to her there.
Well, yes, absolutely, Anand. And if we remember, we were the first ones to put out this entire investigation as to how wrong doctors have been sent to Rio 2016. And what actually came out of that was that for whatever pain or injury that the players were suffering, Dr. Pawan was just, referring them to a Combiflam, which was the solution according to Mr. Pawandeep Singh, who happens to be the IOA Vice President, Mr. Tarlochan Singh's son. So the nepotism that is prevalent in the Indian Olympic Association is now out there for everyone to see as to, till what extent is it actually there that, it is at the cost of the players, at the cost of a medal for the country. Because talking about injury and the match before that, Dinesh had an astounding victory over her opponent. So
yes,
it is very, very important to have, this investigated thoroughly so that it never happens again.
Absolutely, and Bhavtosh, that's the question, because at that time itself you had athletes complaining that all that these doctors are doing is having a good time. They have got some of the best quarters assigned to themselves, and when we go to them with a problem, with a pain, with something, with an issue, they say, all right, pop in a paracetamol or a painkiller and you'll be all right. That's what they were saying at that point in time, and it's good that the CBI has taken suo motu cognizance. What spurred them on to do this?
Well, the CBI has said that they have filed this plea on basis of their own information that they had collected. They have also said that in days to come they will ask IOA to explain as to why these two persons who were not even qualified as specialists in sport medicine were sent to Rio. They in fact have said that they were present right from the day when the Olympics started till the closing ceremony, and they have also said that they will ask IOA as well as Sports Ministry why clearance was given to them. But what is most embarrassing is the fact that IOA never forwarded any complaint to CBI. It was only CBI that took a suo motu cognizance of this entire matter and have now decided to start investigation.
So now, is there a time period set, Bhavtosh? I'm just coming back to you. Is there a time period? Are they going to start summoning people for questioning? How are they going to go about it? Will Pawandeep Singh and R.S. Negi be asked on what basis they certified themselves to be CMOs? On what basis did they replace qualified doctors and think that they can represent the country and put India's athletes under jeopardy?
Well, in fact, the first step would be asking IOA as to why these two persons were sent to Rio. The second is asking them to join the investigation. The CBI has said that this is just a PE. A formal case will be filed very soon, but they have said that even if you just go through the facts of this case, it shows that there was favoritism, nepotism shown to these two persons, and that's the reason. That was the only reason, in fact, why these doctors were sent to Rio.
Well, Bhavtosh, Jwala Gutta with us on the phone. Jwala Gutta, do you think better late than never? The CBI is saying that we are investigating into what happened at the Rio 2016 when you had doctors who were radiologists who came as CMOs and were prescribing paracetamol and painkiller for all aches and pains and injuries for the athletes.
Well, I really didn't know about this, but I guess, yeah, I'm sure there's an inquiry on it, and I'm sure it helps in whatever way the sports to come up, basically, and, now, and for a better approach towards sports. I think it's high time.
Well, Jwala, thank you for speaking to us. Moving on from the story.
Massive victory for India.
Jadhav will not be executed. The World Court has backed India, snubbed Pakistan. India has scored a monumental victory.
World Court rejects Pak's lies.
We kept it straight, we kept it narrow, we kept it on law, we made our points forcefully, but kept them within the confines of international law. Pakistan tried bringing in the passport, the video and all, and the result is for everybody to see.
Pakistan cannot hang Jadhav.
It is appropriate for the court to order that Pakistan shall take all measures at its disposal to ensure that Mr. Jadhav is not executed pending the final decision in these proceedings.
India has the right for consular access.
It appears that the rights invoked by India in the present case on the basis of Article 36, paragraph 1 of the Vienna Convention are plausible.
India defeats Pak. Detailed coverage on Times Now.
Now to India's #1 defaulter, the poster boy of defaulters and this millionaire club that has now started settling down in London. No, I'm not talking about Lalit Modi or Karti Chidambaram. It is Vijay Mallya we're talking about. We're trying to extradite him. We're trying to sign treaties and agreements with the United Kingdom so that they hasten or expedite the extradition process. And back home or closer home, you have the Indian motorsport body that wants to continue to honor him and continue to name him as the global representative. The moment we put this story out here on Times Now, there were ripples within the motorsport body. There were those who said it's time to sack Vijay Mallya. One of those voices is Vicky Chandok.
I'm joined by Mr. Vicky Chandok from the FMSCI. So thank you so much for talking to us. Of course, Mr. Vijay Mallya in the news this time around once again for all the wrong reasons. And this time, of course, the fact that he is representing the country at the FIA, the International Body for Motorsport, and also you were the one who the FMSCI has nominated Vijay Mallya. So where do you think, considering the kind of the controversies that he's engulfed in, don't you think it's a little bit bad on the part of India to have somebody like him represent the sport?
Okay, fair question. Right, just for a matter of record, yes, I was the president for about 9 years of the Federation of Motorsports Clubs of India. I'm no longer on the board, okay? I stepped away 2 years or 3 years ago. But it was during our period where Dr. Mallya has been nominated by the Federation, even earlier for a stint. Let's be a little clear, I need to clarify this. He is not representing India at the World Motorsport Council. Everybody's talking about and making the sensational headline saying he's representing India. He's not. He was nominated by India. There are 155 member countries of the FIA. He was nominated by India and was elected on his own steam. There's an electoral process. The FIA general body, AGM, conducts an election in December, and he was elected on his own steam.
So, but also if you could just clarify, his term, we believe, ends in 2018, about next year, that is. So, in future, will the FMSCI also, keep in mind these kind of things, in case, not just Vijay Mallya, in case there is somebody, who's facing a lot of controversies in the country, will there be, will this set a precedent for the future, to ensure that, the right person is nominated or somebody with...
I'm sure. And I think when Vijay was nominated, Okay, he was definitely the right person to be nominated. Okay, good outlook, knows the sport very well, owns the Formula One team. So, India benefited a lot, from his nomination. So things have probably changed. So I'm sure.
We're way over time in this edition of the Prime Pulse. Vicky Chandok clearly saying that it's time to sack Vijay Mallya. There are more voices which say that he should no longer be honoured till he comes here, settles its debts, clears all the charges against him and answers the questions that India wants the answers to and the nation wants to know. Taking a very short break, News Watch up next here. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the Prime Pulse.
I think our lives are stronger, our movement is stronger. No going back to 377.
We ask your questions.
Are you bothered that majority of the police forces in Jammu and Kashmir don't have a bulletproof vest, but you're giving bulletproof cars and paying for separatists? You don't behave like a spokesperson of a Pakistani agent.
What are you doing using the taxpayers' money to provide security to these separatists who speak only a pro-Pak language, who call Burhan Wani a martyr?
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
We think India is safe, we think Bangalore is a safe city. When incidents like this happen is when we realize that it's not that safe anymore.
My only future action is to achieve a settlement with the banks.
We are your voice.
When the state government has come out with an ordinance, has assured us a law, why are you playing destructive or opposition politics right now?
11 months. You've been sitting on an investigation. What are you waiting for, Sambit Patra? For the evidence and for the traces to be wiped out?
Captain Mandeep Singh is a martyr and we salute him, sir. But I'm also saying that it was not war or a conflict that claimed him. It was an act of terrorism sponsored by Pakistan on Indian soil.
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
VIPs पब्लिक को हैरान कर रहे हैं.
They have to bear it. Not much. They have to bear it.
We ask your questions.
स्कर्ट उठा के तूने कर दिया दिल को डायनामाइट अरे फक फकीरा ना इश्क हुआ है overnight. If this movie did not get banned, lipstick under my burqa, why is it getting banned?
What is the false propaganda? That women are being groped and molested? No molestation. No molestation has happened. Are you telling all those women, including some on our panel tonight, are lying about what they've gone through?
The News Hour, your trust, your voice. We redefine News TV for a new India. The most watched, the most impactful, the most followed. With the all-new Times Now app, we bring you closer than ever before. If it's news, it's on Times Now. Times Now. Action begins here.
She knows India's power corridors like no other journalist. And she doesn't take no for an answer.
मंत्री जी आलाप कर रहे हैं, आप कौन होते हैं? He was avoiding any direct interaction with me.
You can't recommend XYZ चलता हुआ रोड पर उसको नहीं करता.
तो आपने अपने भाई की कंपनी recommend करी.
A journalist known for asking the hard questions.
You talk of Sikh riot, they talk about Gujarat. Do you think your conscience is clear? India is not America. Not everybody is on check payments and plastic money
Well,
in
if you
India.
see-
The Congress is a party that has been completely shrouded with scams.
Many of these are notional scams.
All the court cases are notional.
For bringing out the inside stories behind the persona.
8 p.m. no CM. Vasundhara Raje, what is your reply to your critics?
I can't have men prancing through my rooms. If I'd come back at 8 o'clock and allowed people to come into my house, there would have been other things to say, wouldn't there?
He just decided that he would answer all the questions straight from the heart.
एक गुना मेरा होता है, एक तो ये दिल्ली में बैठी हुई सरकार ने कब को मुझे फांसी पे चढ़ा दिया.
Watch Times Now's managing editor in candid conversation with top newsmakers on Frankly Speaking with Navika Kumar.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 7 p.m. and you're with me, Navika Kumar, on the News Watch this evening. And it is Rajni for President. That's the chorus coming in from Tamil Nadu. Rajnikant has been meeting his fans for the last 3 days. And today, there is huge speculation that will Rajnikant make it to Raisina Hill. We will debate that in just a bit from now as we ask the BJP whether it will back Rajnikant because it wants a southern twist to its own politics. That debate coming up in just a bit from now. But first up, let's take a look at the top headlines this Friday evening. A week after Times Now stinging expose on Pakistan ke dalal, India's top anti-terror body jumps in to probe funding of the Hurriyat. Times Now exposed the Pakistani agents and the web of transactions to maintain unrest in the valley. Now the NIA rushes to the valley to probe. The Enforcement Directorate, on the other hand, summons Pakistan ke dalal. A day after massive embarrassment at the International Court of Justice, Nawaz Sharif faces backlash at home. Pakistan opposition demands his resignation. Karti Chidambaram's sudden visit to London stumps the CBI. His departure comes at a time when the PMLA case has been registered by the Enforcement Directorate against him. Times Now was the first channel to bring you the entire Chidambaram files, where we put out the web of companies used to route alleged bribe money. While India continues its quest to bring India's #1 defaulter, Indian motorsport body continues to reward him by making him a global representative. Minutes after Times Now's report, tremors felt in the Indian motorsport body board mul's sacking of Vijay Mallya. Superstar Rajnikant makes an impassioned speech bordering on politics at the last day of his fan meet. Speculation now over Rajnikant for president. In a major reprieve for WikiLeaks co-founder, Sweden drops rape charges against Julian Assange. There is still ambiguity over his freedom from leaving Ukrainian embassy. After day 3 of Rajnikant's fan meet in Chennai, speculation over his political future is louder than ever before. Times Now learns that there are even whispers for Rajnikant to be nominated as the President of India. The Thalaivar's supporters feel he should not get his hands dirty in everyday street politics and should run for the top job in the country, while some feel that he should actually dive into the Dravidian political arena. There are other parties who are even ready to endorse Rajni's candidature in the race for the Raisina Hill. And joining me this evening to debate whether Rajnikant should make a bid for Raisina Hill, I'm joined by Saeed Zafar Islam, spokesperson of the BJP, C. Rajashekaran, lawyer, joining me from Chennai, R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist, joining me in our studios here, and Sanjeev Srivastava, senior journalist, also joining me from Delhi. But my first question goes to Saeed Zafar Islam. Zafar Islam, you know the BJP wants to take a southern route. You are desperate to get a foothold in Tamil Nadu politics. Would it be a good idea for the BJP to support the candidature of Rajnikant? Is that something that's happening anywhere in the realm of possibility? Because people in Tamil Nadu do want to see Rajnikant in active politics and maybe as the commander of our armed forces.
Navika, let me just correct you. We are not desperate. As a political party, we have aspiration to have a firm footing everywhere, every corner of this country, including southern state of this country. So, if you ask me, do we have aspiration to have a firm footing in Tamil Nadu? Yes, we have. And we are working towards it, and whatever the dynamic works out which is in our favor, will definitely go for it. Having said that, whether Rajnikant should be nominated as the President of India is something the leadership will take a call, because this is it's a very important position, and this call should be taken by the senior leadership and we are no one to comment at this juncture, because there is still some time left for the nomination of for the President of India.
Well, the nominations will be on middle of June, so there's very little time, and you in the electoral colleges have about 5,37,183 votes, whereas the victory number is about 5,52,274 votes. So there is a little bit of a gap, and maybe you'll need parties like the AIADMK or the DMK, Dravidian parties, to come in for support. And with a candidate like Rajnikant for presidentship, that support could be yours for the taking if you support a southern candidate. I know you have your own contenders, whether it is Draupadi Murmu, whether it is Sumitra Mahajan or Sushma Swaraj, but isn't Rajnikant an option that could be considered by the BJP?
Navika, as you all know, that the President of India is the custodian of the Constitution of India. I'm on live. And we also know that we have given a president earlier. India government has given a president, and today all of us know that he is known as the People's President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Azad. So we have a reputation, we have a credential, this party has a credential of choosing somebody who has the reputation to become the President of India and who has been liked by everyone, and everybody endorses his name. So I'm sure that the leadership will take a call which or whatever name will be proposed by the leadership, and I'm sure that will be endorsed by every single party of this country. Well,
let's go across to C. Rajashekaran. C. Rajashekaran joining us from Chennai. C. Rajashekaran, you do know that Rajnikant has been meeting fans, and many are seeing this in Tamil Nadu, where you come from. Many are seeing this as some sort of a bid to test waters, to try and see if he can come into politics. Many feel that he should not dirty his hands in day-to-day politics, but rather move straight to Raisina Hill, where as president, as the incumbent of Rashtrapati Bhavan, he can actually have a stature as well as a following, especially from parties like the UPA and the opposition parties, who are currently standing at 391,739 votes, which is way behind what is required for the victory figure of 5.52 lakhs. Is it a possibility to come up with a name like Rajnikant, given the fact that Gopal Krishna Gandhi and Meera Kumar are the other names that are being propped up, but Rajnikant will have a huge following and mass appeal.
Navika, see, I'm really astonished the way Rajinikanth's name is being prompted for the Raisina Hill. And definitely, if Rajinikanth is given an invite, I can be 100% sure he will not refuse to accept it, because becoming the president of this vast nation, such a fantastic, beautiful nation called India, it is a great gift given by God. As he always claims, if God willing everything happens, I will enter politics. If God willing, so he always invokes God's presence in everything. So even God speaks to us. So God speaks to every citizen of this country who believe in any God what they worship. So God should speak to everybody, and God should also speak to Rajinikanth what he is going to do next, because we are all waiting in Tamil Nadu. Not only in Tamil Nadu, the world Tamil diaspora is waiting what Mr. Rajinikanth is going to do next. What will be his step forward, and let God speak to him immediately, and let him come out with whatever statement he wants to make to the people of this state and as well as the nation. See, I have no qualms in saying that he shouldn't be made the chief minister. He shouldn't be. We have no right in a democracy. Everybody can contest elections. Everybody can compete for the chief minister's post. And Rajinikanth is a great actor. He is a superstar. He has got all the qualities to serve. But the only hitch behind it is he himself claims, I am already 67 years old, I have got a lot of health issues, and
but that's the right time to become president. That's the right time to become president.
See, it is up to the BJP and other Congress party, BJP and other people.
So that's what I wanted to hear from you, that BJP, unless the BJP backs him, the numbers currently stand in favor of the BJP. Sanjeev Srivastava, look at the way the electoral votes for the presidential election are stacked right now. The NDA is in touching distance with 37,000 votes, whereas the winning number, the magic number, is 5,52,000. There are parties like the TRS, like the AIADMK, who have been making noises. Now, we do know that there are 3 contenders, and 3 of them very strong women contenders, whether it's Draupadi Murmu, who is from the scheduled tribe. She's a woman. She's from Odisha, a state that is the next target state for the BJP. There is Sushma Swaraj, who has done a fantastic stint as Minister for External Affairs over the last 3 years, whether it is the life-saving efforts in Yemen, or even the victory at the International Court of Justice yesterday, all authored by her, or whether it is Sumitra Mahajan, the woman who's seen as somebody who can actually run Lok Sabha, great administrative mind, and you know, somebody who's very pleasant and acceptable to everybody in the BJP. Of course, these candidates are there, but do you think with somebody like Rajinikanth, the BJP will be making a larger statement and reaching out to a larger audience, at least down south, where it wants to make its foray?
Well, Navika, your sources are usually impeccable, and I have no reasons to doubt the name of the contenders that you are mentioning here. But knowing Mr. Narendra Modi, and knowing that he's a master player so far as politics is concerned, timing is concerned, and also throwing up a surprise is concerned, he can come up with any name which he may not have discussed or disclosed right now amongst even his closest of confidants. So that's something, that's an ace he's keeping up his sleeve. Rajinikanth is a great choice from BJP's perspective, that they immediately send a message to the Tamil population, to Tamil Nadu, to southern India, where it's not so strong other than Karnataka, and also some kind of a master stroke. But whether it translates for them into having a stronger foothold in Tamil Nadu, daily hurly-burly of politics is a difficult one to call. Maybe Rajinikanth, as an active member of BJP, will be more useful to the BJP if he campaigns for them in Tamil Nadu, or if he becomes a member of the party. That's all thinking aloud. From Rajinikanth's perspective, of course, it will be a great honor, and who will give up the chance to become the President of India? So I'm sure Rajinikanth will also not. But the fact that he has talked about in his speech today about serving people, whether he meant president or whether he meant active politics or something else is again, you know, Rajnikant, to decipher his mind is perhaps as difficult or a little less difficult. Maybe to decipher Narendra Modi's mind is the most difficult, but then Rajnikant is also
probably comes next.
Rookie in that sense. He can also throw
surprises. So you're saying Rajnikant comes next to Prime Minister Narendra Modi in terms of what are the aces up his sleeve?
He has a better sway and he'll be more useful. And he has
in the politics. Let's get in the South expert, the Tamil Nadu expert, Mr. R. Rajagopalan, to comment on that. Mr. R. Rajagopalan, Rajnikant is somebody who's virtually God in Tamil Nadu. Now, if the BJP is looking for support from parties like the DMK, the AIA-DMK, isn't Rajnikant somebody who could symbolize, you know, support from across all parties? Every party in Tamil Nadu will have to vote for Rajnikant, whether it's the PMK, the MDMK, the DMK or the AIA-DMK, everybody will have to support Rajnikant. So would that be something that would be in the realm of calculations for the BJP, or do you think the BJP is going to play it absolutely as per their agenda, which is an RSS/BJP candidate?
BJP will be very careful in selecting the President of India, because in the history of India, 70 years of independence, never before they got such a majority of 284 in the Lok Sabha. And 2014 mandate to Mr. Narendra Modi is to authorize Narendra Modi to select his own candidate of President and Vice President. Therefore, if you see what Prime Minister Modi has been doing in the selection of Chief Ministers, Haryana, Mohanlal Khattar, Maharashtra, the amount of Devendra Fadnavis, springs the name as a surprise, even for Assam, Sonwal. Therefore, governor's appointment, Jharkhand. If you understand the mindset of Mr. Narendra Modi, selection of persons, personalities, therefore, my understanding is, it will be a hardcore RSS person, it may be a woman, and on the top of it, it will be the first time the proud President of India will be from BJP. Therefore, Narendra Modi's mindset would be very crucial. We have to understand, and in Narendra Modi's mind, Mr. Rajnikant may not figure in.
Okay, it's all hotting up here in Delhi. The season for the presidential poll approaching fast and speculation is rife. At the moment, there are lots of names doing the rounds. These are the latest names that we are bringing to our viewers. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at what are the other candidates and how they are stacked when they are compared to somebody like a Rajnikant. We'll debate that after this short break.
I think our lives are stronger, our movement is stronger. No going back to 377.
We ask your questions.
Are you bothered that majority of the police forces in Jammu and Kashmir don't have a bulletproof vest, but you're giving bulletproof cars and paying for separatists? You don't behave like a spokesperson of a Pakistani agent.
What are you doing using the taxpayers' money to provide security to these separatists who speak only a pro-Pak language, who call Burhan Wani a martyr?
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
We think India is safe, we think Bangalore is a safe city. When incidents like this happen is when we realize that it's not that safe anymore.
My only future action is to achieve a settlement with the banks.
We are your voice.
when the state government has come out with an ordinance, has assured us a law, why are you playing destructive or opposition politics right now?
11 months. You've been sitting on an investigation. What are you waiting for, Sambit Patra? For the evidence and for the traces to be wiped out?
Captain Mandeep Singh is a martyr and we salute him, sir. But I'm also saying that it was not war or a conflict that claimed him. It was an act of terrorism sponsored by Pakistan on Indian soil.
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
VIPs पब्लिक को हैरान कर रहे हैं.
They have to bear it. Not much, they have to bear it.
We ask your questions.
स्कर्ट उठा के तूने कर दिया दिल को डायनामाइट डायनामाइट. अरे फक फकीरा ना इश्क हुआ है overnight. If this movie did not get banned, lipstick under my burqa, why is it getting banned?
What is the false propaganda? That women are being groped and molested? No molestation. No molestation has happened. Are you telling all those women, including some on our panel tonight, are lying about what they've gone through?
The News Hour, your trust, your voice. We redefine News TV for a new India. The most watched, the most impactful, the most followed. With the all-new Times Now app, we bring you closer than ever before. If it's news, it's on Times Now. Times Now. Action begins here.
She knows India's power corridors like no other.
Welcome back. Let me go back to Syed Zafar Islam. Zafar Islam, you have three very strong contenders. There is Sumitra Mahajan's name, there is Draupadi Murmu, there is also Sushma Swaraj's name that's coming up. Is it a foregone conclusion that you would like to field a woman candidate as the president because it's a kind of a statement that you would be making, especially given the fact that the Prime Minister has been taking up women's issues, whether it's Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao, whether it's the issue of triple talaq. The Prime Minister has emphasized women's issues. Do you think that's a foregone conclusion for the BJP?
Navika, all these names you have mentioned, do they have the stature? Of course they have the stature, they have the credentials to become the President of India. However, should we speculate their name at this juncture? Probably not, because you know the reputation of the Honorable Prime Minister. He has always chosen the right people for the right job. And let's wait for some time, and I'm sure that all the names you have mentioned from the Bharatiya Janata Party, they all have the very right credentials, very sound credentials, and very prominent names. And all of them have the capability to become a very good president, and they are capable of delivering to the expectation of the people of this country. Having said that, I think it's too early for us to even speculate any name, purely because you know the Honorable Prime Minister. He has always chosen the right person at the right time, and an appropriate juncture he will make those kind of announcement. So let me also tell you one more thing. As I said, and I'm repeating.
Yeah, go on.
I'm just repeating what I had said earlier, that the last time when the NDA had chosen Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, everyone endorses his name purely because he had the credentials. And today, everyone remembers him, the only president of India who has been remembered as the people's president. So that you must understand that the politics doesn't go into it. It is the ability of the political party to choose the right person for the right job is something which is very important, and that philosophy and the ability only lies with the Bharatiya Janata Party and its leadership, and that's why.
Well, we do know that the cards are stacked in your favor. we do know the cards are stacked in your favor, but Mr. Rajashekaran, do you think, there is, however, a little bit of a shortfall? It's not a clear majority. Rajya Sabha numbers is something of a worry for the BJP when it comes to its own presidential candidates. So they will need support from some of the southern parties, whether it's the TRS, whether it's the AIADMK or the DMK, which is unlikely to go with the BJP government. So do you think somebody like a Rajni could tilt the the scales in favor of the BJP, or do you think the BJP has the numbers to such a comfort extent that some of the political parties from the south will willy-nilly go with the BJP and not with all the other opposition parties who are trying to get together, whether it's the left, whether it's Mamata Banerjee, whether it's the Congress? They are all holding their own parlays at this moment. Will they be able to stymie a BJP president from coming to power?
Navika, see, the power and the support Mr. Narendra Modi ji, the Prime Minister of this country, has got now after the victory of UP. There is no problem at all to bring in a new BJP president for India, because ADMK will definitely, nobody is there. See, if Madam Jayalalitha was alive, the story would have been different. But today, ADMK is into pieces. They have no option but to go by the orders of whatever BJP says. That is a real harsh truth. So, BJP will sail through easily. As far as this Rajshekar Reddy's son, Jagan Mohan Reddy, he is ready. He has voluntarily come out and said he is going to support the BJP presidential candidate. So as far like this, many people would come out and support BJP because there is no issues for them. Instead of supporting a Congress candidate who is not going to win, they either support the winning candidate, which is the BJP nominee. So I see no problems in the future in electing a new, as Rajagopalan said, definitely it is going to be a hardcore RSS person only as the President of India, because they have made it very clear. See, I really appreciate BJP for being very open in all their moves. See, as far as UP is concerned, they immediately said...
Yes, they are open in all their moves. Sanjeev Srivastava, does the opposition, the Nitish Kumar, the Mamata Banerjee, as well as Sitaram Yechuri, Sonia Gandhi combined, does that opposition all versus Narendra Modi have any chance in propping up, somebody like a Meera Kumar or a Gopal Krishnan Gandhi?
I think it will be some kind of a political... See, the numbers which you just gave, Navika, a while ago, which means that the NDA or BJP government is short of about 20,000 odd votes in the electoral college. So they are already virtually in kissing distance from the president's job. And knowing Mr. Modi's and Mr. Amit Shah's acumen in somehow getting the numbers always right, this is too small a number for them to challenge them. So they'll get the numbers right. Also, what Zafar Islam is constantly saying, I agree with him. In the last NDA elections, they got Dr. Abdul Kalam because they still needed support of the other parties. This time, Mr. Modi can get someone whom he supports. So already a couple of the Advanis and Murli Manohar Joshis are out of the race because of different reasons and largely because of the CBI case. Amongst the women candidates you mentioned, one of them at least was seen as a challenger to Mr. Modi himself. So I don't think her name will do the trick. The thing what Zafar Islam is trying to say that Mr. Modi picks the right person for the right job.
As the president.
I'll put it slightly differently.
Well, let's give last word to Rajagopalan. 30 seconds. Rajagopalan, BJP RSS candidate or a woman candidate? What do you think?
Woman candidate backed by RSS, and therefore I feel that Narendra Modi will have a woman president of India for the first time, and that will be a hardcore BJP and RSS. And apart from that, I am telling you, Navika, when you talked about Nitish Kumar and others, there is going to be a cross-voting also. You cannot rule out that. There will be a split in other regional parties like TMC, like Aam Aadmi Party and others. There, the pin of hope is there.
Okay, so cross-voting could happen from parties like the Trinamool Congress, the Aam Aadmi Party, says Rajagopalan. But whichever way you look at it, When you look at the top two in the BJP, it's going to be a closely guarded secret between Amit Shah and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and that discussion likely to take place in just about 10 to 12 days from now is what we are being given to understand. So all eyes on that meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and BJP President Amit Shah to decide the next presidential candidate from the BJP, with them being in kissing distance of making the next President of India. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me here on the News Watch. The Blueprint coming up next. Stay tuned. We'll take a short break and be back with much more news on the other side.
I think our lives are stronger, our movement is stronger. No going back to 377.
We ask your questions.
Are you bothered that majority of the police forces in Jammu and Kashmir don't have a bulletproof vest, but you're giving bulletproof cars and paying for separatists? You don't behave like a spokesperson of a Pakistani agent.
What are you doing using the taxpayers' money to provide security to these separatists who speak only a pro-Pak language, who call Burhan Wani a martyr?
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
We think India is safe, we think Bangalore is a safe city. When incidents like this happen is when we realize that it's not that safe anymore.
My only future action is to achieve a settlement with the banks.
We are your voice.
When the state government has come out with an ordinance, has assured us a law, why are you playing destructive or opposition politics right now?
11 months. You've been sitting on an investigation. What are you waiting for, Sambit Patra? For the evidence and for the traces to be wiped out?
Captain Mandeep Singh is a martyr and we salute him, sir. But I'm also saying that it was not war or a conflict that claimed him. It was an act of terrorism sponsored by Pakistan on Indian soil.
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
VIPs पब्लिक को हैरान कर रहे हैं.
They have to bear it. Not much, they have to bear it.
We ask your questions.
स्कर्ट उठा के तूने कर दिया दिल को डायनामाइट डायनामाइट. अरे फक फकीरा ना इश्क हुआ है overnight. If this movie did not get banned, lipstick under my burqa, why is it getting banned?
What is the false propaganda? That women are being groped and molested? No molestation. No molestation has happened. Are you telling all those women, including some on our panel tonight, are lying about what they've gone through?
The News Hour, your trust, your voice. We redefine News TV for a new India. The most watched, the most impactful, the most followed. With the all-new Times Now app.
A week after Times Now stinging expose on Pakistan ke dalal, India's top anti-terror body jumps in to probe the funding source. Times Now exposed the Pakistani agents and the web of transactions to maintain unrest in the valley. Now NIA rushes to the valley to probe, while ED summons the Pakistan ke dalal. A day after massive embarrassment at the International Court of Justice, Nawaz Sharif faces backlash at home. Pak opposition demands his resignation. Karti Chidambaram's sudden visit to London stumps the CBI. His departure comes at a time a PMLA case has been registered against him by the ED. Times Now was the first to bring you the entire Chidambaram files, where we put out a web of companies used to route alleged bribe money. While India continues its quest to bring India's #1 defaulter, Indian motorsport body wants to reward him as he continues to be our global representative. But minutes after Times Now report, tremors felt in the Indian motorsport body, board mulls sacking Vijay Mallya. Superstar Rajinikanth makes an impassioned speech bordering on politics at the last day of his fan meet. Speculation now over Rajinikanth for president. In a major reprieve for WikiLeaks co-founder, Sweden drops the rape charges against Julian Assange. There's still ambiguity over his freedom from the Ecuadorian embassy. Well, news coming in a day after Pakistan was snubbed by the World Court in the Kulbhushan Jadhav case. Pakistan has filed a plea in the International Court of Justice asking for a rehearing in 6 weeks. So Pakistan, that clearly yesterday itself refused to accept the judgment that had been passed by the International Court of Justice, now wants a round 2, a review and a rehearing within 6 weeks. Srinjoy is on the phone line to help us understand. Srinjoy, what happens next?
Well, first of all, the ICJ has to accept the plea. The ICJ has to say that, yes, we will look at the case again after 6 weeks. Now, why should the ICJ do that is a question, considering they've taken so much time, so much effort, and the case was unanimous, if you remember. So, first of all, the issue is whether the ICJ will take up the issue or not. Secondly, of course, Pakistan will do such a thing because they were so comprehensively defeated at The Hague. Very, very clearly, every point that India made was accepted. Every point that Pakistan made was disallowed. So naturally, you would expect Pakistan, which has already started criticizing the Prime Minister and the barrister. These are the two targets. It's never the military, to actually look at something else. So, therefore, the issue of reopening the case comes up. First of all, why should the ICJ reopen the case? And secondly, even if it does, considering the ruling was so comprehensive, unless there is new material, unless there is new evidence, which clearly there isn't, because all Pakistan has is a doctored tape, which allegedly suggests that Kulbhushan Jadhav has admitted his guilt. Beyond that, Pakistan has nothing. So therefore, why should one ICJ accept it, and why should they change its views?
Well, so Srinjoy, you're absolutely right about the fact that Nawaz Sharif and of course his legal team have faced a lot of flack and backlash back home, and that Times has also been highlighting that. So under pressure, perhaps they have rushed again to the ICJ. But do we know on what grounds, or will they have to explain that right away, or will that happen only once the ICJ admits their appeal, if they do?
Well, the first thing, of course, is Pakistan will have to tell the ICJ these are the reasons why we want the case to be reheard. Now, that hasn't been told to the ICJ as yet. First of all, there can't be any worthwhile reason apart from the fact that they've lost, and lost very comprehensively. But beyond that, first, the ICJ has to accept it, and even if it does, how do you expect that the ICJ to change its stance? The same 11 judges are looking at the same pieces of evidence to come up with a diametrically opposite view.
Srinjoy, now what has become very clear is that every single argument that was put forward by Pakistan was completely demolished by Harish Salve at the ICJ. And like you pointed out, the decision was unanimous. So we will have to, of course, wait and watch at this point of time whether the ICJ takes a note of this and wants to give Pakistan the time. Pakistan completely cornered and isolated right now, and literally desperate here for some kind of a relief as far as the Kulbhushan Jadhav case is concerned. Srinjoy, thanks so much for joining us. Well, day after Times so exposed how Karti Chidambaram used his father's position to pull in favours for Mallya-linked Diageo and the Indrani and Peter Mukherjee. We've tracked down his London office. Remember, 2 days after the raids were conducted and Times put out the Chidambaram files, Karti Chidambaram left for London. Today, the ED went ahead and filed a case under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. But what is Karti Chidambaram doing in London? When we asked him that question, he said it was a pre-planned visit. He's a frequent traveller and he travels across the world, and he went ahead with that visit. Now we've got the details of Karti is one of his firms based in London. Those visuals on his screens are exclusive visuals of one of those firms. In fact, we'll also try and play out a report that we've got that Danish has sent us from London. Exclusive visuals getting to you of Karti Chidambaram's, one of his firm's office in London, where we are tracking him down. On his trail is the CBI that's already conducted raids. On his trail is also the Enforcement Directorate that has filed a case today. Yet Karti Chidambaram is in London. Now, why is that? Danish has sent us this report.
Demonstrar House, which is actually the registered address for Karti Chidambaram's company known as Totus Tennis. But what we found out is that this building actually houses an accountancy firm which has Totus Tennis as one of its clients. On further inquiry, we found out that Karti Chidambaram is based in India, but that he regularly visits United Kingdom. That's what we were told by someone at this accountancy firm. Now, this particular model of having a registered address without being physically present is gaining a lot of popularity in the United Kingdom. This is because it helps fulfill the legal obligation of having a registered address so that you can receive correspondence on your behalf. But at the same time, it also offers a level of secrecy that helps camouflage your scrupulous activities. The accountancy firm here is definitely unaware of the controversy surrounding Chidambaram back in India.
Well, moving on to the other big story, the 60,000 crore Rose Valley chit fund scam is back to haunt Mamata. Times House Access, a 39-page charge sheet that reveals the direct link between two top TMC MPs and the Rose Valley director Gautam Kundu. Now, according to the CBI charge sheet, more than 130 witnesses have testified in the case and 200 incriminating documents have been seized by the investigative agency. Let's go across to Tamal, who's accessed the details of those charge sheet. Tamal, take us through the highlights.
Well, certainly, Tanvi, this is the 39-page charge sheet of CBI which has been filed before the lower court in Bhubaneswar. It's a supplementary charge sheet, first supplementary charge sheet which has been filed by the investigating agency in connection with Rose Valley chit fund scam after Trinamool Congress MPs Taposh Pal and Shudip Bandyopadhyay were arrested. To take you through the highlights of it, to begin with Taposh Pal. Taposh Pal's case, CBI says that Taposh Pal was inducted as a director of two of the companies of Rose Valley Group, Rose Valley Chain Marketing System Limited, and the other one is Idea Projects Limited. Now, for which Taposh Pal had given written consent as warranted by the provisions of the Companies Act 1956, which is very important to note, Tanvi. He had given a written consent to become the directors of these two companies voluntarily. Now, what it goes on to say that he remained as a director for these two companies for briefly 5-6 months. Now, out of these two companies, one company, which is Rose Valley Chain Marketing System, this company was used to kind of transfer approximately 12 crore 66 lakh 5,242 rupees. So basically this company was used to divert this particular amount to some other sister companies of Rose Valley Group, which is very crucial to note. And Taposh Pal was the director in that company. No way he can say that he was not aware of this amount of money that was diverted. The other important thing CBI goes on to say that Taposh Pal, in his official capacity of Member of Parliament, sent a complaint dated 2nd of June 2010 against 16 chit fund companies to Shri Pranab Mukherjee, then Union Finance Minister, about their illegal money collection business. For wider impact, copy of this letter was marketed to many other organizations, press and electronic media. Investigation has disclosed that it was a pre-planned move and the complaint was issued at the insistence of Shri Gautam Kundu, which gets vindicated from the documentary oral evidence collected during investigation. This letter was outcome of unholy nexus between Gautam Kundu and Taposh Pal is further evident from the fact that in the complaint, none of the names of the companies of Rose Valley Group was appearing. The other point CBI says, very important, Taposh Pal on his official letterhead as Member of Parliament wrote a letter dated 29th of May 2010 to the Reserve Bank of India and inquired about the land he has purchased from Rose Valley Real Estates and Constructions Limited. Now, point is, even though he inquired about it, he never actually bought that land. In fact, RBI responded that the said company was not under NBFC, which is non-banking financial company. Thus, RBI cannot confirm whether the land was okay or not. And that reply of RBI was used by Gautam Kundu to kind of promote its companies and brand of companies while trying to collect money. The final point that the CBI is making, that he had made several motivational and encouraging speech in Rose Valley functions to people who had assembled over there, and then CBI goes on to say that he had also been a director in one of the companies. Interestingly, as a director, he had taken a salary of 1 lakh rupees. Here's what CBI says. Taposh Pal was shown as a director of the advisory board of the film division.
Okay, Tamal, hold on to that point. I'm going to come to you on that point. It's a very crucial point that you're highlighting. Just hold on to it. We've just got a reaction coming in from Mohammed Salim. Let's listen into that first.
That's a specific charge. And that's why the people have gone to the court. On the one hand, TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee, with the help of the state government, tried to prevent any inquiry or investigation. And Supreme Court, when it asked for this inquiry, ordered for inquiry, that is what especially means it's a quid pro quo. That means the TMC was financially benefited, as leaders got all these benefits, and on the other hand, they extended political benefits and shelter to the Rose Valley, Sarda and all these host of cheat fund companies. And that's why the CBI was asked to find out the truth, go to the bottom and find out the political conspiracy angle.
Okay, coming back to you, Tamal, now after listening to that reaction, go ahead and finish that last crucial point that you were highlighting from the chart sheet.
Well, as far as Taposh Pal is concerned, Tanvi, this is very important to know that all this while inside the courtroom, while trying to act extremely innocent and naive and saying that he had nothing to do with the kind of business Rose Valley was into and he had no idea, he said he was the director of the film division of Rose Valley. So here's what CBI says. CBI says that Taposh Pal was shown as a director of the advisory board of the film division of Rose Valley, besides being the director of Rose Valley Chain Marketing Systems Limited. However, investigation revealed that there was no such film division operating in Rose Valley Group other than a company named Rose Valley Films Limited, which was making feature films, and there was no advisory board in Rose Valley Films Limited. So it's a very crucial point. And quickly, to sum up Taposh Pal's case, Tanvi, he had taken a sum of 26,15,647 rupees in several ways from Rose Valley. Interestingly, it goes on to say, CBI goes on to say that he had taken 10 lakh rupees, a sum of 1 lakh rupees per month from November 2009 to August 2010 as director salary from Rose Valley Chain Marketing Systems Limited. However, he was officially inducted as a director only in the month of February 2010. Imagine, he was never a director on board, yet he took salary from Rose Valley Group, an amount of 1 lakh rupees within the period of November 2009 till January 2010. So for those 3 months, why would any company be this philanthropic to pay someone 1 lakh rupees as a salary even when he is not a director? So all in all,
well, what he was doing was batting for them. What he was doing, Tamal, was batting for them at every possible level, promoting their business, even writing letters to ministers in the centre, and that's very clearly coming out of that chart sheet. Tamal, thanks so much for bringing us those exclusive details. Time for a quick break, but coming up on the other side, in a glaring expose of nepotism and favoritism in Indian sport, CBI reports suggest that doctors who treated Indian athletes at Rio Olympics were short on qualification and experience.
I think our lives are stronger, our movement is stronger. No going back to 377.
We ask your questions.
Are you bothered that majority of the police forces in Jammu and Kashmir don't have a bulletproof vest, but you're giving bulletproof cars and paying for separatists? You don't behave like a spokesperson of a Pakistani agent.
What are you doing using the taxpayers' money to provide security to these separatists who speak only a pro-Pak language, who call Burhan Wani a martyr?
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
We think India is safe, we think Bangalore is a safe city. When incidents like this happen is when we realize that it's not that safe anymore.
My only future action is to achieve a settlement with the banks.
We are your voice.
When the state government has come out with an ordinance, has assured us a law, why are you playing destructive or opposition politics right now?
11 months. You've been sitting on an investigation. What are you waiting for, Sambit Patra? For the evidence and for the traces to be wiped out?
Captain Mandeep Singh is a martyr and we salute him, sir. But I'm also saying that it was not war or a conflict that claimed him. It was an act of terrorism sponsored by Pakistan on Indian soil.
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
VIPs पब्लिक को हैरान कर रहे हैं.
They have to bear it. Not much, they have to bear it.
We ask your questions.
स्कर्ट उठा के तूने कर दिया दिल को डायनामाइट डायनामाइट. अरे फक फकीरा ना इश्क हुआ है overnight. If this movie did not get banned, lipstick under my burqa, why is it getting banned?
What is the false propaganda? That women are being groped and molested? No molestation. No molestation has
revealed money trail from Pakistan to Hurriyat.
This intelligence report actually establishes that Pak ISI has a front office in India through which it disperses cash for several anti-India activities. Separatists, the Hurriyat is somebody who can be treated as a stakeholder.
Times Now exposed ISI's cash register.
This document details this is just one tranche, 170 lakhs for 1 month. God alone knows how many other tranches are going out from Pakistan of hard cash.
India's top anti-terror agency begins probe.
It took Times Now to expose it conclusively. We showed you documents with names, details of individuals receiving money from the ISI. The NIA has decided to probe this entire issue.
Biggest exclusives, biggest impact. Pakistan ke dalal, Times Now exclusive.
Some of the other stories from across the country. Veerbhadra Singh trivializes deaths caused by swine flu. Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister says that people will keep dying since the population in India is high. Veerbhadra Singh gave this bizarre reply to questions on steps he's taking to tackle swine flu in his state. Arun Jaitley visits the LOC to review security preparedness in the forward areas along the line of control. The defence minister says he was satisfied with the aggressive domination and readiness of our troops to give a befitting response to any misadventure by Pakistan. Trinamool Congress MP Sudeep Bandyopadhyay gets conditional bail in connection with the Rose Valley chit fund scam. Bandyopadhyay, who is undergoing treatment in Bhubaneswar Hospital, cited health reasons in his bail plea. Trinamool MP claims no money from Rose Valley was transferred to his account. Anantnag saw protests for the second consecutive day, leading to a shutdown in South Kashmir town. More security forces had to be called in to control the situation. Srinagar also witnessed violent protests leading to tear gas shelling after the Friday prayers. Completely out of time on this edition of The Blueprint, but don't go anywhere. Rahul Shivshankar joins you next on India Upfront.
Expose Lalu Land Ghotala.
Lalu's daughter has bought almost 7 acres of land worth 100 crore rupees for just about 1.4 crore rupees bought through mysterious business entities.
Impact: Lalu and his aides raided by the IT department.
After Times Now reports, Income Tax Department is conducting raids and surveys at 22 locations in Delhi and Gurgaon worth 1,000 crore rupees involving RJD chief Lalu Prasad.
Expose Gandhi VIP sauce.
We need answers. The Delhi police needs to tell us why Maureen Vadra gets cover.
Impact: security to Vadra's mother withdrawn. Expose Malia's secret loot. Impact: court issues contempt notice to Malia.
In this case file, India is categorically listed thus far undisclosed assets built up by Malia by diverting Indian taxpayers' hard-earned money.
Expose justice for Sonika. Impact: actor summoned by Kolkata police.
Vikram has finally admitted that he was drinking that night when that accident happened.
Expose Islamist caliphate take. Impact: Hurriyat Hizbul link exposed. Expose Aapka Sach. Impact: bribery scandal singes Kejriwal.
First time access to the responses to the Income Tax Department that have been filed by a company in which Mr. Satyendra Jain was once a stakeholder. These companies were actively using the money they were getting from Kolkata-based companies to purchase parcels of land.
Times Now, the news leader. News that impacts you.
I think our lives are stronger, our movement is stronger. No going back to 377.
We ask your questions.
Are you bothered that majority of the police forces in Jammu and Kashmir don't have a bulletproof vest, but you're giving bulletproof cars and paying for separatists? You don't behave like a spokesperson of a Pakistani agent.
What are you doing using the taxpayers' money to provide security to these separatists who speak only a pro-Pak language, who call Burhan Wani a martyr?
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
We think India is safe, we think Bangalore is a safe city. When incidents like this happen is when we realize that it's not that safe anymore.
My only future action is to achieve a settlement with the banks.
We are your voice.
When the state government has come out with an ordinance, has assured us a law, why are you playing destructive or opposition politics right now?
11 months. You've been sitting on an investigation. What are you waiting for, Sambit Patra? For the evidence and for the traces to be wiped out?
Captain Mandeep Singh is a martyr and we salute him, sir. But I'm also saying that it was not war or a conflict that claimed him. It was an act of terrorism sponsored by Pakistan on Indian soil.
The News Hour, your trust, your voice.
VIPs पब्लिक को हैरान कर रहे हैं.
They have to bear it. Not much, they have to bear it.
We ask your questions.
स्कर्ट उठा के तूने कर दिया दिल को डायनामाइट डायनामाइट. अरे फक फक फकीरा ना इश्क हुआ है overnight. If this movie did not get banned, lipstick under my burqa, why is it getting banned?
What is the false propaganda? That women are being groped and molested? No molestation. No molestation has happened. Are you telling all those women, including some on our panel tonight, are lying about what they've gone through?
The News Hour, your trust, your voice. We redefine News TV for a new India. The most watched, the most impactful, the most followed. With the all-new Times Now app, we bring you closer than ever before. If it's news, it's on Times Now. Times Now. Action begins here.
She knows India's power corridors like no other journalist. And she doesn't take no for an answer.
Will swear by Pakistan and reject India's constitution. They boycott India's poll process, but when exposed in public, Hurriyat turns to India for help. Can you believe that? Seeks 1 crore damages in Indian court. Shocking hypocrisy by Hurriyat. It's a hafta by the back door. Massive impact after Times Now investigation. The NIA orders a probe into Hurriyat's funding from Pakistan's ISI on the basis of the documents accessed by your channel. Pakistan demands a retrial after it was routed by India in the World Court at The Hague over the kangaroo trial of Kulbhushan Jadhav. Pakistan stunned, cannot accept reality. Muhammad Kaif gives it back to Pakistani trolls, says he's not ashamed to celebrate India's ICJ win because he's a proud Indian. Yes, sir, well said. No Indian Muslim is a Pakistani, and Pakistan needs to know that. Its two-nation theory has been busted. Day before the ED slaps a PMLA case against him, Karti Chidambaram takes off for London. Is he now another Malia? The speculation grows, but he denies. And the man on your screens, he's a fugitive, but Vijay Mallya stays on, believe it or not, as the face of India's motor sport on the world stage. That's right. This is because India's motor sport panel hasn't bothered to replace him as India's envoy globally. I am holding a badge of honor in my hand. This is it. This badge of honor is a suit filed against your channel by Pakistan's Dalals, the Hurriyat, because we dared to expose their financial links to Pakistan's ISI and its army. We did so because it was in the national interest, which we will never compromise. But the Hurriyat, of course, will never understand. In this suit that I'm holding in my hand, the Hurriyat has demanded 1 crore damages from Times Now for defaming their image. They don't want to be called Dalals of Pakistan. This is not a demand for damages. This is an extortion. It's hafta. It's blatant extortion. Syed Ali Shah Gilani and his stooges can bully little boys and girls in the valley, but not Times Now. In fact, this suit betrays the fecklessness of the Hurriyat. These Pakistani agents salute Pakistan. They boycott the Indian state and boycott elections. But when they're exposed, they want protection under Indian law. Why do they want protection from India when they want azadi from India? Do the Hurriyat know that they will have to stand in court and swear by India's constitution, the same constitution that they oppose in principle? Will the Hurriyat pawn their cause for 1 crore? I challenge them to stand in court, put their hands on the Indian constitution, take an oath to speak the truth and tell us whether they are Dalals of Pakistan, and then they can have that 1 crore. I would ask them to swear allegiance to the Indian constitution in a court of law. I challenge them. I challenge them, and if they do, you will know the price of their azadi. It's 1 crore. Because they will sell their cause for that 1 crore. Aren't they happy? with the money they get from Pakistan? Those are the questions I'm asking tonight, but not before I bring in Navika Kumar into this. Navika Kumar, this suit has been filed in particular against you. Take us through the details.
Well, this is the suit that has been filed, Rahul. This is from Amir Masoodi, who is the son of Abdul Rashid, Peer Abdul Rashid, against whom we had done a story. And this particular suit, suing notice, this is a legal notice that's been sent to us on 12th of May 2017. And this is addressed to me, Navika Kumar, Managing Editor, Politics, Times Now, Mumbai. And in this, they actually say that we have defamed them because we have talked about Pakistan's involvement in funding of the All Parties Hurriyat Conference. Look at the statement that has come and been reported by the same Amir Masoodi in several Kashmiri papers. What does he say? He says, my father no doubt is the senior leader of the Hurriyat Conference led by Saeed Ali Shah Gilani, but that does not mean the channel, in order to increase its TRP, can defame him. He says, I have filed a defamation case against managing editor of the channel, Navika Kumar, for defaming my father. Let them prove it in a court of law. This was the document that we carried on the 6th of May when we unveiled our story, Pakistan Ke Dalal. And there are these documents given to us by our sources in the intelligence agencies clearly show Hurriyat Office, Peer Abdul Rashid, 50,000 rupees. Hurriyat Office, Peer Abdul Rashid, 70,000 rupees. Hurriyat Office, Peer Abdul Rashid, 2 lakh rupees. He neither denies the fact that he's a member of the Hurriyat. He does not deny the fact that there is funding that has come in. He only questions the fact whether this funding is from Pakistan and whether we have defamed him. The question, Rahul, today is very, very clear. Is the Hurriyat willing now to swear by the Indian Constitution to challenge us here on Times Now? If they are willing to actually swear by the Indian Constitution, then what happens to all their public statements that have been made so far that they do not believe in democracy, they do not believe in the Indian Constitution?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Navika. That is absolutely the point. And let's just, by the way of illustration, let's play out that soundbite. Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani, the man for whom Peer Abdul Rashid works, listen to his anti-India utterances. Let's play out that soundbite. I want to put the facts right up there front. Let's put them out.
By birth, I am not Indian. United States. By birth, I am not Indian. We are under occupation.
Documents में क्या लिखा आपने वहाँ पे?
Documents में क्या है? वहाँ ये है कि मैं by birth Indian हूँ. मैंने कहा कि नहीं, I am not by birth Indian. This is also a reality. और फिर ये हमने कहा कि we are under occupation.
तो आपको अभी भी लगता है कि मतलब आपका पासपोर्ट का मसला हो जाएगा?
कोई डर नहीं. हमारा जो काज है वो बहुत मुकद्दस काज है. हम ऑक्यूपेशन के खिलाफ से स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं गुज़श्ता 70 साल से. That will continue.
We are under occupation. We are under occupation. That's what Gilani said. If they're under occupation, if they feel that the Indian state is an occupying imperialistic power, then why are they knocking on the doors of the Indian state demanding 1 crore in compensation for alleged defamation? Why are they doing that? If they don't believe in the Indian state, why even take a rupee from it? That's the question that needs to go out. Why ask an Indian entity to pay even a rupee? Let's throw this open. Let's throw this open for debate. Joining me this evening, Colonel RSN, Lalit Ambardar, an activist, Irfan Hafiz Lone, another lawyer and activist. Joining me from Srinagar is Shabnam Lone, another lawyer and activist, and John Dayal, human rights activist. Navika, of course, stays on with us because I'm going to come to you, Navika, to read out a couple of more extracts from this because it really becomes very contradictory. So I'll just come to you in a few seconds.